11,000 just sitting around playing poker. I couldn't believe it. And back then, it was like 11,000 was a lot of money. So I was like, Pops, man, you gotta show me the way, you know? Like, how do you play? So he gave me a couple books, showed me the basics about the small and big blind and whatnot. And I just kind of went nuts with it. I was like, wow, this is crazy. And that's kind of my personality. If you just keep at it, then usually you succeed. And I think that goes with all forms of life.
Prahlad, the new age poker player, is quite the dichotomy. Even that last statement, keep at it and you'll succeed. It's both inspirational and keeps fish in the game.
Well, this game continues with the loose cannon on the straddle. So Dani Stern first to act. And he folds. Prahlad. He's going to sit it out. Eugene Katchalov, ace-5 offsuit on the button.
I've got an ace. I'm in position. Good enough for me.
Raised to 2,500. King-6 suited for Daniel in the small blind.
King-6 suited is going to be better than almost any random hand.
A re-raise to 8,000. Phil folds. Queen-6 for the straddler. He folds.
We've seen Eugene call a raise in position with a weak ace before, but this is a re-raise. Daniel's assuming a raise from Eugene on the button is any random hand.
Eugene folds.
Katchalov lays down the best hand, but it's a hand that can get you into a lot of trouble.
All right.
Hated folding that.
You did? You had a good hand? Super solid?
No, not really.
Super solid is a good way to describe Eugene Katchalov. He's first in the three following categories: VPIP, pre-flop raising, and folding the 3-bet. Looks like Daniel's picked up on the fact that Eugene's playing and raising a lot of hands, but is folding to most 3-bets. Daniel doesn't mind getting 4-bet with a hand like King-6 suited because it's easy to let go.
All these internet kids, 4-bet, 5-bet, 6-betting. Right, Phil? Right, huh?
Phil's just thinking about how he would have gotten away with being the greatest in the world if it weren't for those pesky kids.
Okay, Scoob. Action folds around to Daniel Negreanu, Queen-5 suited. Raises to 3,000.
Daniel's raising his position, which also just happens to connect with the big blind of the least experienced player.
Ace-6 offsuit for Andre Capella, the 76-year-old online qualifier.
Hey, maybe we're going to see Andre take it down pre-flop.
Raises to 6,000.
Take that.
Woohoo! 6, so I got to call 3,000 more, huh? Whoo, boy. All right, then. Don't shoot me if I bust him.
Daniel really can't fold for just 3 more.
You got chattering chips.
I do, yeah.
8-7-5, 2 diamonds on the flop.
Andre's flopped a strong draw, but Daniel's flopped a pair. Not sure if the gold miner is going to have the carrots to take Daniel off his hand.
Andre bets 5,000.
I can't see how much. You got still 4 grays, right? Just move your left hand if you don't mind. Okay, thanks. So 25. Okay, 5,000, right? There you go.
Daniel calls.
5,000 was a pretty small bet. He's going to have to fire much bigger if he wants Daniel to fold.
3 of clubs on the turn.
The 3 doesn't complete any draws. Let's see if the race car driver can shake and bake.
Another bet of 5,000.
Yeah, this is fun. I like this. Don't you? It's kind of cute. 5,000, right? Okay. I got a lot of cards I can catch, you know, so I don't think I can fold for that price.
There's the call.
Come on. We need like a 4, 9, a 6, something like that.
Daniel just called out all of Andre's outs except for the ace.
And, of course, it missed on the river.
Not a bad read.
Not checking.
Andre checks.
I check.
Andre realizes bets were just a more expensive way of checking.
Pair of 5s. Phew.
No luck on this end of the table.
No aggression either. Andre played that hand way too passively. He's going to have to fire bigger if he ever wants to get out of this hole.
The loose cannon is bleeding chips. Medic! We'll tell you if we can find one after this.
Welcome back. Do you want a chance to be a loose cannon and win that NAPT passport? Log on to PokerStars.net. There are free qualifying tournaments every day. Now let's get back to the action.
Quick reminder that stats for every hand of the big game, as well as bonus footage and uncensored clips deemed too hot for TV, can all be found on the website.
Back in the game here, our race car driver, Loose Cannon, is almost on an empty tank. He's down to his last 16,000.
I'm going to fold.
Action folds around to Phil. Ace-Queen offsuit. Raise to 3,000. Andre folds. Dani Stern, pocket sixes. Calls. Prahlad Friedman, 9-4. See ya.
Last time these two tangled, Hellmuth popped out of his chair and incurred several FCC violations.
The flop, deuce, trade, jack, 2 diamonds. Stern checks. Phil fires 3,500.
Dani probably isn't too afraid of this board, but he checked to the razor.
Now he calls.
2 4s.
Not a bad read from Phil.
9 of spades on the turn. Dani checks. Hellmuth makes it 11,000 to go.
Seems like Phil is destined to not repeat history.
You don't think I'm going to check ace-king again, do you? I got to bluff you one time.
Phil's pretty much telling the truth. It's so straightforward that maybe it's misleading. Ugh, makes my head hurt.
Well, let's see if Dani can figure this one out. Stern folds the best hand, and Phil takes down the pot.
Would have liked to call there.
You would have liked to call?
Yeah. 23,000 on the river.
Joe, is Phil changing gears on us?
Everyone thinks Phil's a nit, so he's changing things up a bit, and it's working so far. Despite the fact that he's had a few blow-ups, his chip stack is doing quite well.
He can't straddle.
Action folds over to Phil.
And he'd only have 399
He
million.
limps in.
Now he's limping all of a sudden.
Andre does as well.
I don't know if Andre's playing like Phil or if Phil's playing like Andre.
Dani Stern thinking about it.
I'm sure he wouldn't mind isolating Andre here.
$2,400.
There's a raise to 2,400. Friedman looking at ace-6 suited.
Prahlad's got a suited ace, but it's a weak one, and he's out of position with 4 players still to act behind him.
He folds, so does Katchalov, and so does Phil, but not Andre Capella.
Not much.
You're back. You got their 12 back, right?
Andre's only got 12K behind and not much of a chance of hitting his flush since we know 6 spades have been folded.
No spades on the flop, which comes king, queen, deuce.
Andre's got second pair.
King, queen, deuce.
Andre shoves, and Dani folds.
I think Andre missed some value there. If Andre had checked, he might have gotten at least a few thousand out of Dani, but instead he donk bets or bets into the player with the pre-flop lead. His 33% donk bet rate is the highest at the table. The rest of the table knows he's only doing it with the goods, and therefore he hasn't been paid off even once.
How many gears were on those race cars that you had? What was the highest one? 4? Okay, try that one.
I just tried it.
And it worked.
Daniel's suggesting that Andre shift gears. I think he did, but he forgot to keep his hands on the wheel. Also, his left turn signal has been on for an hour.
Well, he just slammed on the brakes here, opting to fold. Dani Stern is playing, raising to 1,500. Ace-7 for Prahlad Friedman, who's been awfully quiet tonight, and will remain so. Eugene Katchalov is suited, but out. So's Daniel. And Phil's in.
Couldn't resist it.
They've got the same hand, but Phil's the slight favorite, suited.
9-4-7, 2 spades on the flop. Phil checks.
Big flop for both players. Huge flop for Phil. He's free-rolling spades.
Stern fires 2,600. Phil calls.
That's what we call a snap call, kid.
Did anyone else hear that?
That's what we call a really cheesy line, kid.
9 of diamonds on the turn. Hellmuth checks.
Looks like Dani's thinking about a semi-bluff.
Makes it 7,000.
Dani has made a semi-bluff, but since Phil's got the spade draw to go with his straight draw, he's got even more equity and more incentive to semi-bluff right back at him.
How much more do you have left there? That's good. I can see it. Yeah.
Sounds like Phil might have a big bet in mind.
I'm going to raise it up 16 more.
Hellmuth raises to 23,000 and Stern quickly folds.
That's what they call a semi-bluff, kid.
Well, the man with 11 World Series of Poker bracelets to his name is being a big old bully at the big game. Will that continue? Find out after this. Welcome back to the big game in Las Vegas. Action begins with Dani Stern. Jack 10 suited,